Hey there, this is Tiff from Reach Your Potential with Tiff. What we do here is we build the belief and courage in you to go after your big dreams in your life. We develop the mindset, the strategies, and the habits to bring out the person you are destined to become. Listen up, take notes, let's go. Hey there, Tiff here. Here we are working through A Course in Miracles. We are now on lesson 13. The theme for this lesson is a meaningless world engenders fear. Or you can think of it this way, a meaningless world causes fear. Or a meaningless world gives rise to fear. Okay, so that's just to help you get the understanding of engenders. So a meaningless world causes fear. So today's idea is really another form of the preceding one, which was in lesson 12, except that is more specific as to the emotion aroused. Actually, a meaningless world is impossible. Nothing without meaning exists. However, it does not follow that you will not think you perceive something that has no meaning. On the contrary, you will be particularly likely to think you do perceive it. Recognition of meaninglessness arouses intense anxiety in all the separated ones. It represents a situation in which love or God and the ego challenge each other as to whose meaning is to be written in empty space that meaninglessness provides. The ego rushes in frantically to establish its own ideas there, fearful that the void may otherwise be used to demonstrate its own importance and unreality. And on this alone, it is correct. So what it's starting to show you that we have two ways in which we operate. There's an ego and there's something else. Our true self, which is God or love or however you want to look at it. But that's how I interpret that. Okay, that was my interpretation of when I work through that. I'm just saying that so that it helps you explain where we're headed with this. So the ego will challenge things that has, and they will choose to have meaning for it versus what actually your true self or love or God or whatever that is that that you think that is best for you. That is what they see. It is essential, therefore, that you learn to recognize the meaningless and accept it without fear. If you are fearful, it is certain that you will endow the world with attributes that it does not possess and crowd it with images that do not exist. To the ego, illusions are safety devices, as they must also be to you. You equate yourself with the ego. So illusions are ways in which you've currently been seeing the world and what your ego is actually seeing versus your true self. The exercises for today, which should be done about 3 or 4 times for no more than a minute or so at each time, are to be practiced in a somewhat different way from the previous lessons that you've been working through. With eyes closed, repeat today's idea to yourself, then open your eyes and look around you slowly, saying this: I am looking at a meaningless world. And what you want to do is you want to repeat this statement to yourself as you look around. Then close your eyes and conclude with this. So this is what you do at the end of this lesson. A meaningless world engenders fear because I think I am in competition with love or with God or with my true self. So I've added love or true self in there because that's what that means. If you have religious faith, you can go with God. If you don't have religious faith, you can look at something else like love or your true self. So I'm going to repeat this again. So with your eyes closed, you want to repeat this idea for yourself. When you open your eyes, you want to look around slowly, and this is what you want to say. I am looking at a meaningless world. And you want to be looking everywhere that you're looking with your eyes open. You're saying, I am looking at a meaningless world. Then when you are then finished that lesson, what you then want to finish with is a meaningless world engenders fear, or a meaningless world creates fear. A meaningless world causes fear because I think I'm in competition with God, I'm in competition with love, or I'm in competition with my true self. You may find it difficult to avoid resistance in one form or another to concluding this statement. So you may find that you are resisting this. That's okay. Whatever form such resistance may take, remind yourself that you are really afraid of such a thought because of vengeance of the enemy. You are not expected to believe the statement at this point and will probably dismiss it as preposterous. Note carefully, however, any signs of overt or covert fear which it may arouse. This is our first attempt at stating an explicit cause and effect relationship of a kind which you are very inexperienced in recognizing. Do not dwell on the concluding statement and try not to even think of it except during the practice periods. That will suffice at present. So don't get too caught up in some of the wording here because you may be feeling uncomfortable with it. Just go with it. Like I've said in previous lessons, don't try to intellectually understand it. Just go through the lessons. It's all about stripping away. That's what we've got to be doing. We're going to strip away what I call the onion, get back those layers, strip away back to our true self. That's what we're searching for. So what can we have? Inner peace, happiness, all the things we're actually looking for. Okay? So, quick recap. With your eyes closed, repeat today's idea. Open your eyes and then say, I am looking at a meaningless world. Then when you've finished, you then say, a meaningless world causes fear because I think I am in competition with love, or I'm in competition with God, or I'm in competition with the true self. Enjoy today's lesson. Keep going. Keep practicing. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.